A storm is brewing, warrior. It is not out there in the world, but within you, inside your mind and heart. The battle you are about to face is both internal and external, and while it may seem that the enemy lies in the world around you, the true challenge begins within yourself. I am not here to sugarcoat reality or to pretend that life is simple. The reality we face as men is complex, especially when it comes to emotions, relationships, and yes, manipulation. You see, manipulation is subtle. It is not always as loud as an argument or as obvious as a lie. Often, it seeps into the cracks of your thoughts and actions, like a shadow looming over your confidence, controlling your decisions until you are no longer the man you once were. Manipulation, though it may sound like a modern term, is as ancient as humanity itself. Since the dawn of time, people have used manipulation tactics to influence the behavior and emotions of others, often seeking personal gain at the expense of someone else's integrity. Whether consciously or unconsciously, human beings have perfected this skill. But here is the truth. Manipulation only works when we fail to recognize the game being played. If you do not see it, you will become a pawn on someone else's chessboard, and that is something you cannot afford. So how can we detect the signs of manipulation? First, it is crucial to understand the psychology behind it. Emotional manipulation, one of the most common forms, is subtle. It occurs when someone plays with your feelings, making you question your worth, your actions, and even your sanity. When we like someone, we are often blinded by what psychologists call the halo effect. This phenomenon happens when we view someone in a positive light, ignoring their flaws because we are drawn to their beauty, charm, or charisma. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you excused questionable behavior simply because you were in love? That is manipulation at its finest, acting unnoticed, using your emotions against you. For example, imagine you start dating someone who constantly praises your skills at work, but simultaneously criticizes your choices in your personal life. That validation may feel good at first, but in reality, it is designed to weaken your self-esteem. You become a prisoner of your desire to be recognized, and in the process, you drift away from your true self. This is a form of manipulation that, unfortunately, many people face. A high-value man recognizes when guilt, shame, or pity are being used as tools of control. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, taught that we must remain centered, not allowing external forces to shake our inner peace. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this and you will find strength." So when someone tries to use guilt against you, understand that your emotions are part of your personal domain. No one should have that kind of power over you. Let us not forget manipulation through vulnerability either. Sometimes someone may open up too soon, sharing personal struggles in hopes of making you feel responsible for their well-being. This is where you must be cautious. Authentic vulnerability develops over time. If you feel that someone is using their vulnerability to rush intimacy or create a false sense of closeness, it is a clear sign of manipulation. They are trying to make you feel obligated to them. A high-value man sees this for what it is, a tactic designed to control his emotions and decisions. Now, warrior, let's talk about warning signs. Red flags are not just coincidences or misunderstandings. They are whispers from the universe warning you before it is too late. Yet many of us, blinded by hope or desire, choose to ignore them. We convince ourselves that people will change, that things will get better, or that we are simply overthinking. But guess what? Deep down, we know better. A high-value man never turns a blind eye to these warning signs because he understands that his peace and self-respect are non-negotiable. Pay attention to how she might subtly try to control you. Perhaps she starts the relationship by showing concern for your friendships, questioning your friends, or suggesting that you should spend more time with her instead of them. At first, it may seem like love or enthusiasm, but in reality, it is a form of control disguised as affection. This behavior feeds her ego and seeks to dominate your social life. A high-value man understands this and stands firm. Your life is yours, and no one has the right to dictate your decisions. Then there is the intoxicating flood of attention, the love that feels overwhelming at first, wrapping around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. It may seem like a dream come true, But this is what we call love bombing. It is an intense flood of affection designed to make you addicted to validation, to make you dependent on their approval, as if it were the oxygen you need to survive. But here is the truth. Real love does not manipulate, does not rush. It grows steadily and is nurtured by respect and time. A high-value man knows that relationships built on intensity and haste often collapse just as quickly. Let's move on to a more underrated tactic: breadcrumbing. This form of manipulation is particularly insidious. It happens when someone, consciously or unconsciously, gives you just enough attention to keep you hooked, but never enough for you to truly invest emotionally in the relationship. You remain in a constant state of doubt, wondering if you are really good enough, if you are worth their time, or if they will ever give you the attention you deserve. Listen closely, warrior. Your worth is not a gamble, and you are no one's second choice. A high-value man walks away from uncertainty because he knows he deserves clarity and commitment, not confusion and doubt. And what about the cunning tactic of negging? This behavior manifests as comments disguised as compliments that gradually chip away at your self-esteem, making you feel like you need to prove something to earn love and approval. Now let's talk about setting boundaries effectively, as this is vital to protecting yourself from manipulation. Setting boundaries is an essential skill that every warrior must master. It is not just about saying no. It is about building a fortress of respect around your emotional and mental space. Consider Epictetus, a slave-turned-philosopher who lived a life marked by external restrictions, but remained mentally free because he mastered the art of setting internal boundaries. He once said, "No man is free if he is not master of himself." Additionally, it is crucial to learn to say no. The most powerful word in your arsenal is no. Many men struggle to say it, especially when emotions are involved. But learning to say no and standing by it is the mark of a truly valuable man. Saying no does not mean being cold or distant. It means prioritizing your own well-being. The truth is, when you always say yes, you are not being honest with yourself, nor are you honoring your own needs and desires. You are sacrificing yourself for someone else's benefit, and that is the fastest way to lose control of your life. Women are naturally attracted to men who can say no because it demonstrates strength, confidence, and a sense of self-worth. So, warrior, this journey is not about winning some trivial battle for control. It is about mastering your own life. When you recognize manipulation, set firm boundaries, and have the strength to say no, you become untouchable. Your stance becomes a monument of power and respect. You stand in your own power, and trust me, that is the kind of man who earns respect, not because he demands it, but because he lives it. You deserve relationships based on mutual respect, not manipulation. And now you have the tools to ensure that is exactly what you get. But remember, this path is not for the weak. It is for the man who is willing to stand firm, who values himself enough to walk away from those who do not. So ask yourself again, are you ready to be that man? If you are ready to take control of your life, if you are ready to stop being a pawn in someone else's game, write "Challenge accepted" in the comments below. Let the world know you are not just here to listen but to act. This is only the beginning. Your journey starts now.